What's up, everybody? This is Edward back in another video. And today what I want to do is read off an article by The Guardian that talks about, the murder rate. I want to read off this article because I want to give true context into global, situations, even though Brazil, I would consider, I'd say it's the third world. It is third world. My point is what black people are going through in other parts of the world versus the article that was put out there talking about all the crap that happened in the Chicago, weekend, as far as 27 people getting shot, 12 people getting killed, and how a lot of times the news can be very hyperbolic and focusing on certain things to push certain narratives. Now, I got another video coming out sooner or later. It may come out before this or after this, of a video that y'all be very interested in, it looks like Rahm Emanuel, but I'm not sure if it's Rahm Emanuel or if I think it's Rahm Emanuel, but I'm not sure if it's Rahm Emanuel or somebody running for the mayoralship. But the point is, this is a video we'll get to that when we get to that. But anyway, let me read off the article. So, a devastating scenario. Brazil sets new record for homicides at 63,880 deaths. This is by Dom Phillips in Rio de Janeiro. 4 hours ago, this was put out, and today's date is Thursday, basically August the 9th. Yeah, so this is today. So pretty much, in the picture, it's funny because it's like the same kind of picture that you see in America a lot of times. But anyway, Brazil broke its own record for homicides last year, according to new figures which show that over 63,000 people were killed in 2017, a 3% increase from the previous year. Damn. Data from the independent Brazilian Public Security Forum said that an average of 14 people died at the hands of police officers every day. Wow. An increase of 20% from previous year. Rapes also rose 8% to 60,018, while murders of women increased 6.1% at 4,539. I want to pause this for a second to give hold on. Okay. To give context. So they said 63,880. I'm doing some math right here. So 63,000. And added at 4,539.3. That means that 77% of those deaths were only 7% of those deaths were women. So keep that in mind, because oftentimes, even in America, we tend to overhype. It's almost as if a woman's life matters more than a man's life, because we tend to act like women are being killed off a lot more than what they are, when women are really not living in the same kind of environment that men are, as far as the stuff that men got to worry about. I just wanted to say that. So 7% of that 64,000 is women. Just to keep that in mind. So we can continue. It is a devastating scenario, said Renato Sergio de Lima, director of the forum, who said the homicide figures have been exacerbated by antiquated laws and police procedures and the growth in organized crime. Most victims were young black men from poor urban areas, he said. Of course they are. Isn't that everywhere? The numbers show we have a serious problem with lethal violence, he said. The chilling statistics are likely to play into October's elections, where crime is a key issue for many voters. Right-wing presidential candidate Jair Bolsonaro leads some polls on a platform that includes loosening gun controls and giving police more license to kill. Something never changed. We have two persistent phenomena: violence against women and criminal gangs dealing in drugs and arms, Lima said. I'm not going to pause this again, but obviously this is that kill more Negro men. You see what I'm saying? That's why I did that 7%, because I wanted you see how he said increased violence against women, yet only 7% of the women are getting, like, that's no. Like, okay. Brazilians continue. Brazilians recently been horrified by a spat of femicides. Femicides? What? Including the death of lawyer Tatiana Spitzner, whose husband, Luiz Felipe Mavara, was filmed by security cameras attacking her in their apartment building before she fell to her death from their fourth floor apartment. He has been charged with the killing. Keep in mind, let the record show they don't have the same last name. Alessandro Lotan, a police sergeant in Santa Catarina state in southern Brazil and president of the National Police Association, said too few murderers end up in jail and authorities focus on repressing criminals instead of preventing crime. There's an impunity about homicide crimes in Brazil. Basically, that's that rape culture, kill women. They try pause. They're trying to sell that narrative in order to justify killing more. Look, I don't know a lot about Brazilian politics, but when I'm pulling out this, keep in mind this is my opinion, so it could be way off. Is if you know the majority that Brazil has 200 million people, you divide that in two, and they basically half of that population is black. When I say black, I mean black like black, not like light skinned black or mixed black, how a lot of people perceive Latin America to be. They are using this to justify killing certain people at the expense of others under the guise of crime and all of that, even though Brazil has hyper poverty mainly because of how much they calcify their wealth. I mean, Brazil is actually a good moniker of what the United States could be in the next 20 years, 30 years. Like, seriously, if you really want to know, when people talk about calcified wealth, stuff like that, even though I like to talk stuff, this is where that's going. So anyway, continue. And I'm not going to pause again. Or no, hold on. Yeah. According to Rio's Igarape Institute, a think tank specializing in security issues, just 10% of homicides lead to arrests and only 4% in charges. Brazilians have yet to wake up to the problem. It's a co-founder, research director. Brazil's national, state, and city authorities urgently need prioritize homicide reduction. Okay, that's the end of the article. So, yeah. So anyway, I only read this article off because I want you all to see what a much more devastating, understand that Brazil has the largest population of Africans or people of African descent. If you look at it from the one drop rule perspective, Brazil is damn near 70% black. Damn near. So basically you can argue they have at least 100 million Africans. They have 100 million full-blooded Africans in that population pretty much. Now, combine that with 48 million, they have double the population of Black America. But they're dealing with probably 10 times more of the crime. Now, obviously, America's America, blah, blah, blah. I get that. This is not designed to deal with the issues that we're dealing with, but it's a lot more open season in Brazil because poverty is a lot more hyper. So, people are much more separated too. So you can just go in the favelas, just go to work because that's where most of those folks are. And this is what they did this during the Olympics and stuff like that. I read this article just to give you perspective because oftentimes people are so in their own world that they're not seeing stuff. Now, what's another point of this article? Another point of this article is Brazil to me is a good example of where America could go. You see only 5% control the majority of wealth and stuff like that. And then everything else, it gets hyper poverty. And then you look at the way their country are wired, where their country has a lot of natural resources. Their country is a part of the BRIC countries, which is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. So quite frankly, they shouldn't have these problems. Brazil should be getting a hell of a lot of investment from China. Brazil has a big enough land and big enough country compared to their population. I mean, the money's there as far as their wealth and stuff like that, but because of how they do what they do, they get the results that they get. So it's much more indicative of a mindset. So when you comply that to things that happen in the United States, there are some things that, when people talk about certain things as far as where the future is going, where automation is going, stuff like that, automation is going to hurt us because we're a post-industrial society versus societies like third world. It's going to do nothing to help because it's going to increase their quality of life. It's going to be a transfer. So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. Because oftentimes when we talk about gun violence and talk about things, we're talking about this from an American context. And even though America is crazy when it comes to gun violence, we still are not in situations where, motherfuckers are having to leave whole countries or leave whole states. So anyway, let me know what you think about this article. Did you like the article? Did you know the numbers I just spoke of when it comes to Brazil? What do you think about this article? Kind of saying all crime is bad, but some crime needs to be done. Do you see any similarities between some of the United States policies as far as rhetoric people say from what they're saying? Let me know what you think. Do you like articles like this as far as me reading out articles, me picking out articles to read it out to you? I will link the link in the description below. And other than that, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Also, what I like about articles like this too is I want to start putting out content that makes it easier for you to share. I want you all to listen to me. I appreciate you all listening, but I definitely want you all to share these articles on Facebook and Twitter. I understand that some of the content that is talked about when it comes to rail pill content, black male first content, that may not play well with different people on Facebook. As far as people people can get triggered, whatever. So I will definitely try to put out content like these news segments and stuff like that in order for me to address things that need to be addressed, but does not get people mad at you for sharing certain things, or you got to be on the hook for that. So this is one of these segments that I think will be easy for you all to share and understand something. Sharing is caring. Sharing is free promotion. So when you click on that button on your phone or on the computer and you share it public and share it to groups that you're a part of, this does help people grow. And this is very much appreciated. I appreciate y'all for just subscribing and listening to it. But understand, when a lot of people are asking for donations, if you don't want to donate, trust me, sharing is sharing. I'm going to do a video about how deep you all could share. But if you share a video, that's just as good as giving like $2 or $3. In fact, I could argue it might be better because that's creating free promotion, it's creating new subscribers. So anyway, let me know what you think. And this is Edward signing off. Peace.